The best one is when the landline phone goes.
Uh-oh. Oh shit.
Oh my god. I've never done that before. In 2 years, I've never done that. Damn. Well,
Ah,
there's
that,
always a
it's,
first time.
it's better that it happened before we even started the actual video, so that's good.
Yeah. All right, I vote we just start the video like this.
Okay, hi, welcome everybody. It's not cranked and ranked. It's slashed and mashed. So a little bit of a different format. We've done two or three of these, I
Yes.
think. And so some of you may be familiar with what this is, but if you don't know, Slashed and Mashed is an offshoot of Cranked and Ranked, where we take an album that has like a counterpart album or a double album, or in this case, four albums that go together that came out on the same day, and we cut out all the shit that we think doesn't belong there and just make it into one strong ass album of the best shit from whatever it is we're doing. Um, we did Guns N' Roses,
We
Use Your
did.
Illusion,
Yep. And Load and Reload from
Load and
Metallica.
Reload. Those are the only ones we've done so far.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that's the only ones.
And so this time we're going to be doing the four solo albums, the four Kiss solo albums that all came out on the same day in 1978, and we're going to turn them into one great album. I realized that they did have a release that came out, was like the best of the solo albums or whatever.
Yeah.
I didn't even bother to go look at what was on that. So
Same.
I'm just like, nope, this is gonna, because whatever that is probably not right. So it's
Yeah.
ours is gonna be the legit one. By the way, introductions, old head, your host as usual, with me as always, Eddie Sparxx.
That's my name. Don't wear it out. That was always the was that a thing back when you were at school? That was always like the dickhead, edgy thing to say
Yeah,
when I was at
yes.
school. Yeah,
But even in the 80s, that was considered a dumb thing to say.
yeah.
That was like a dad joke kind of thing.
Which makes it like at least four times as cringe that kids my age were doing it in the 2000s. So
Yeah.
yeah,
And then the other
fuck
really
those
big,
guys.
for some reason, it immediately makes me think of the other thing where somebody would call you a name and you'd go, I know you are, but what am I?
Yeah, that's the other one. Yeah. Some things never change.
Yeah. And today we're both sporting our Kiss related shirts. I got an Ace Frehley shirt for those in the podcast world, and Eddie just has a full on Kiss shirt, which right now I can only see Gene. Oh, there's the other dudes.
It's a more modern one. They had it in Asda and I just happened to pass it, and I was like, oh well, I don't have a Kiss shirt, and it's not the OG lineup, but
It's still a pretty cool shirt.
it's a damn cool shirt.
And for those of you who may not remember, we actually did a cranked and ranked on all of the Kiss albums, like not just the original classic
Yeah.
ones, but all the 80s and everything beyond.
Is
It
that
was
the
a
biggest one
three.
we've done? I think it
No,
was. Was it?
it may have been. It was a three-parter, but we did Judas Priest and we did Rush. So we've done other really large catalogs, but I mean, Kiss may have been the largest number of albums of anything
That
we've done.
that's what I'm driving at. Like I
But
think, yeah.
but
Damn.
we did, so those are fun episodes. Unfortunately, if you're watching on YouTube, it's not one that has video, although I did create little standalone video, like best of the episode kind of things that came out that nobody fucking watched, but they're still up there. You can search for them.
That's
There's
our
some video stuff.
experimental era. Yeah.
Well, it was all, yeah, this, ever since we started this thing, it's just been like a growing process of figuring out the best way to do things to get I guess the most bang for your free time for what we're doing. So now
Most
now
bang for your time.
we're doing these where you can just listen to this on the go as a podcast or watch it on YouTube. Hopefully you're not watching this on YouTube in your car, unless maybe you drive a Tesla. Do they have YouTube in Teslas or electric cars like that, self-driving cars? That would be kind of cool. Like, so if you're in a,
It
if you're
would.
in a, I mean, we probably don't have people that can afford Teslas that listen to us, right?
Uh, yeah, we might have like one supervillain dude, like
Oh, that would be
just
really cool.
yeah.
Could you
It's like
imagine being like a podcast that's so popular that you're listened to by so many people that eventually somebody will have just committed a murder and they're just driving away from the scene and your podcast is just playing in their car?
You know, I've never really thought about that, but I'm just imagining right now that scene in Boys in the Hood where what's his name gets shot in the alleyway in that drive-by. Just instead of like gangster
Oh.
rap, they just drive off blasting us talking about Limp Bizkit or some shit.
You just hear, yeah, we
Yeah.
did it.
Oh, dude.
um, and then
Oh.
that man, that would be like the cranked and ranked gangster movie where, like, whenever they shoot somebody, they go later, dude, or something like that.
Yes.
That'd be
Oh,
weird.
wait.
I just, for some reason in my head, I was like, why don't we make like a Pulp Fiction style movie where we're the stars of the movie? Boondock
Yeah.
Saints, that kind of shit. We'll do a movie like that. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna suggest we just do a shot-for-shot remake of Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey.
That would be hard as fuck. All the special effects in that. Let's do like an easier one. We'll do like a
Yep.
shot for shot remake of that one movie that takes place in all in one room in like a hotel room or something. I don't know. I don't remember what the movie was.
Yo,
Anyway.
did I ever show you that real quick before we move on? Did you ever see that video called like Terminator 2 Low Budgement Day? It's on
No.
and it's
No.
and it's on YouTube and it's just these guys like, it's from a charming era of YouTube where people would just film shit for fun, but like they take all like the key scenes in the movie and remake them really shittily with like the nuke scene, for example. They're just blowtorching a Barbie doll strapped to a fucking chain link fence.
That's
Run
awesome.
away! Run away!
There was a thing, I don't know how many years ago it's been, where they released like some kids recreated Raiders of the Lost Ark or something like that. And it was
Wow.
so well done that I guess it got put out in theaters for a little, not probably not like major run, but I think you could go see it at like the specialty theaters and stuff. But I
Wow.
have to look that up again because I never saw it, but I remember seeing a trailer and thinking like that looks fucking cool that these young people just decided to recreate Raiders of the Lost Ark. But it was, as far as I know, it was back when it was like VHS recorders, cameras.
Oh, wow.
Like it
Holy
was in
shit.
that time. Anyway, totally off topic. Before we even start, um, but that's the way we roll, especially for something like Slashed and Mashed. So it's not too serious.
Yeah.
We are going to be going through and having to cut out a whole shitload of songs because we decided that the one collection of all the stuff from the 4 solo albums, we decided on 12 tracks.
Mm-hmm.
I believe the longest of the 4 albums is Gene Simmons with 11 tracks. So we just
Yeah.
decided to round up a 12-track collection of the best stuff from the 4 Kiss solo albums, which really means that there's a whole lot of songs that are getting cut out.
Mm-hmm.
And for a couple of these albums, that was easier to do. But one in particular, it was very, very hard for me to do. So on our own, we
I
all
wonder which one that is.
we both separately have gone through and whittled it down to 12 tracks, correct? That's what you did as well?
Yeah, I've whittled it down to 12.
I was almost like, oh, I'm going to leave it at 13 because I can't decide, and maybe but I decided last minute, and I just cut out the 13th one, and now I'm down to 12. And then the other stipulation was we had to include at least 2 tracks from every album.
Yes.
So because that way we couldn't just say, well, fuck Peter Criss, none of his shit's going on there. No, he was a very important part of Kiss at that time, and honestly, I think his album's pretty enjoyable. It's not my least favorite of the 4, but
I will say I've come around to it too. I think when we did the Kiss rankings, it was at the bottom for me, based on like it being the least Kiss
oh yeah.
album. Like, but now I
But
think
you could
about
say
it, like,
it's the best solo album because he literally just did, I'm gonna do Peter Criss, and the other dudes were trying to do some sort of Kiss thing.
Yeah.
Although I think Aces seems pretty legit for his personality and his style. But
Yeah.
okay, well we can get into that. So the first thing we got to do is we got to go through the track list of every one of these, and we'll figure out the songs that we both decided against. Those just get removed and bye-bye. Don't even need to discuss them anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll have a list of the songs that we both kept. And at that point, we have to whittle it down to just 12. So I guess let's, moving in alphabetical order, just to get this one out of the way. The Ace Frehley solo album, my favorite of the 4 solo albums. I think it's probably pretty much everybody's favorite of the 4 solo albums.
It's a damn good one.
It is.
I think for me these days, the Paul one has really crept up my list, and
Absolutely.
I find them now kind of tied. Like,
Oh,
I really do like the Paul one pretty much as I like the Ace one now.
it's great. But we're starting off with the Ace Frehley album, so let's just run through the tracks, and I'll see if you kept it or got rid of it, and then we'll go from there. So, first song, "Rip It Out." I kept it also. So
Yep.
Rip It Out goes on the list over here. I'm going to be writing and trying to talk, so it's not so fucking boring. Speeding Back to My Baby.
Also kept it. I think it's a good 1-2 punch.
Okay, I didn't keep it, but
Ah.
I'm going to put it over here on this other side. Unfortunately, I'm not going to go through the trouble of trying to like have some sort of visual representation of what's going on, because that took way too much fucking time for a video that will probably get 300 views.
It's
And
okay.
a, and
We just
a
need to.
podcast that, like, I look at the downloads of the podcast and that's like 150 downloads. I'm like, no, I love you guys, but I got other shit to do.
They're paying
So,
attention. They're watching. They're watching this.
all right, Snowblind.
I kept it.
I kept it too. That's a
Mm-hmm.
fucking killer song. Snowblind goes on the side of we both kept it.
Snowblind.
Ozone.
I also kept Ozone.
God damn, dude. How many? All right, I didn't keep Ozone.
This is where I okay. So I'm going to say something now.
Okay.
I also limited my picks for an album to 4, so as to make it kind of fair for the other album that I really like.
So you okay? So we're okay.
And I found myself thinking, holy shit, I love these first 4 Ace songs
Okay.
so much, and it's not that I don't like the rest of the album. It's just I like
Yeah.
that run of 4 a lot.
So
yeah.
that would mean that What's on Your Mind, we both got rid of it.
Yep.
All right. So What's on Your Mind is going. New York Groove. New York Groove is one that until last night it was number 13 because I couldn't fucking get rid of it because I love it so much. But I love another of the songs more. So it really hurt me, but I got rid of New York Groove. I'm assuming you did too, because you've already done your 4.
Well, here's where I approached it. I thought to myself, do you know what? As much as I love New York Groove, I made a kind of thing to myself saying, it is a cover, and I did the same thing for When You Wish Upon a Star and also See You in Your Dreams, which is a
Is a
re-recording.
Kiss song. But
Yeah.
but let's be real. Would we have ever chosen When You Wish Upon a Star if we only have 12 tracks? Is that going to go there? No, it's not.
I don't know. You might get like Disney adults listening to this, and they'll be like, "How
I don't want to
dare
support. I don't want to support Disney adults. Okay, they scare the fuck out of me. All right, New York Groove is out, unfortunately. I'm in Need of Love. I kept because that fucking I want some love. And
That is a cool song.
The fucking drums on this album, it's so fucking good. So I'll put that in the you got rid of, but I kept. In Need of Love. Wiped Out, I also kept because that is a fucking fun song. And I love the transition because the verses are all kind of bouncy, and then it goes into that, and there's that echo. I was wiped out, like that whole. It's fucking cool as shit.
Yeah.
And then Fractured Mirror, I got rid of. Because it's an instrumental, it's good, but
Yeah.
we're narrowing it down to 12 songs. So really, the only two from this album that are definitely going on our list are "Rip It Out" and "Snowblind."
Yeah.
So moving on to let me do a little line here. Moving on to the Gene Simmons solo album, which is my least favorite. To be completely honest, I had to like talk myself into choosing one of the two songs because there was one that I was just like, this is a pretty good song. The rest of them, like, I don't want this on there.
Hmm.
There are some things that I enjoy about the Gene Simmons album, but for the most part, it's cringe, as they say, a lot of the time. So,
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, right? There are a few albums I can say about this, like, but there's like one lyric, one line on the
oh, I
entire
know.
album
Go ahead.
that I just think about every time I see this album cover. All I can think is, I know you write me sexy letters, and it's like just one of the most, ugh,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
like if you see that in a dude's Tinder profile, you run the fuck the other way.
All
That
right.
being
Well,
said,
let's get into Gene Simmons because he wants to get into us, I'm sure. Um, all right, Radioactive. I chose to keep Radioactive.
great, great opener.
Okay.
To his credit, really good song.
All right. So, Burning Up with Fever is the other one I talked myself into keeping, just because
Okay.
I like the chorus, the Burning Up with Fever. It's got the female backing vocals, and it's got like a good vibe to it. Did you
Yeah.
keep that one?
It was the third track
Oh,
in
okay.
Am I Gonna Keep This or Not? But I decided that I liked Paul and Ace too much to get rid of a slot for those guys. So
Okay, so Burning
yeah.
Up goes on the other side.
Um
See You Tonight.
no, I got rid of that.
I got rid of that too.
Same was Tunnel of Love. Yeah.
Yeah, I got rid of that one too. Obviously, I only picked two. True Confessions. Did you get rid of that?
I kept True Confessions. I thought it was
Interesting.
I thought it was a fun song. True Confession.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that one's in play, but not an agreed on. Living in Sin at the
Gone.
Holiday Inn. All right, Living in Sin is gone. Always
Every,
near you. Hold on, I'm gonna do it. Always near you / Nowhere to Hide.
oh, well, I'll tell you what. I didn't keep it.
I didn't keep it either. Man of a Thousand Faces.
It was a contender, but I went for nah.
Yeah. Mr. Make Believe.
Nope.
Nope, I didn't either. See You in Your Dreams, we didn't keep, and Wish Upon a Star, we didn't keep. Okay, so really we've got the only one definitely going on our mix is Radioactive.
Mm-hmm.
Which like if we were literally like, they came to us and said, "Hey, put together legit this, and I want you guys to like, remix it or do whatever," I would literally cut that whole first part of Radioactive out because I'm just like, what the fucking point is this? Oh, no, no, oh, like, just fucking move on to the goddamn song.
Yeah.
It's almost like it's like building you up for like, get ready for a creepy time. It's gonna
Yeah.
fucking be creepy most of the album. I love
Real
Gene,
quick.
by the way. People talk shit about Gene, and but for the most part, just being a big fan for as long as I have, and seeing all the different interviews and different things, and following him on Twitter and all this stuff, I've made my own assumption of all the things, and I put it together, and I like him. So but I mean, you can't imagine. I can't imagine what it's like to be somebody like that, like Paul and Gene, where your life, the majority of your life, has been being famous rock stars in one of the most famous bands ever. Like,
Yeah.
what does that feel like? It's like, so like when dudes like that act just like kind of weird or kind of self-obsessed or whatever, I let that slide because I'm just like, yeah, you didn't grow up like
Yeah.
normal. I mean, you had a normal childhood but like you get to a certain point, men don't truly grow up until they're about 30, 35.
Yeah.
And so they didn't they literally like got thrown into it when they were still like making really shitty decisions. So anyway,
Real quick, just for the sake of keeping up with the notes,
uh-huh.
which songs did you keep for Ace? Real quick.
For
Uh,
Ace, I
yeah,
kept I kept Rip It Out, Snowblind, I'm in Need of Love, and Wiped Out.
cool. I'm just taking some notes here for my own keeping
And
track
then
of
and then
things.
and then
Cool.
for Gene Simmons, it was Radioactive and Burning Up with Fever.
Oh, yep, no worries, I got that. So who next, Paul or Peter?
Paul, we're going alphabetical by
Cool.
first name. And my second favorite of the Kiss solo albums, Paul Stanley. This one was actually the also pretty tough because there are a few songs that are just absolutely going on the album, and then there are other ones where I had to like think about it and go, all right, I really like this about this, so I'm gonna have to include it.
Hmm.
So starting with track number one, Tonight You Belong to Me.
Love it. Staying.
Staying with me too. That fucking riff.
Yeah. Down, 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 down. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. All right. So Tonight You Belong to Me is going in the definite. All right. Move On.
Fun song, but I didn't keep it.
I didn't keep it either. Next track, Ain't Quite Right.
It was a contender, but I had to concede because I like the vibe of it, but I feel like there were more bombastic songs on this album that I liked more, so I had
Yeah.
to. It's a great song for driving at night, though. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's good. It ain't quite going on this album. So we're getting rid of that. Wouldn't You Like to Know Me?
Hell yeah.
Yeah. That's like, of course it's going on there. Wouldn't you like blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to write the whole thing down in my handwriting. It is basically handwriting. It's not handwriting.
Handwriting.
If you could literally take the phrase handwriting, that's what mine looks like. It's awful. Take Me Away. Together as One.
Together as One. I kept it because I was weighing up. I was thinking to myself, there's two ballads on here.
Yeah.
There has to be a Paul ballad because that's one sexy combo.
Yeah, I kept it too because it's one of. There's this thing that Paul does with some of his songs, when it's such a powerful thing. Like another one that
lift.
It's. I also think of "I Still Love You" from Creatures of the Night. Like these songs where his voice is so good and it's a really powerful song, but it's not. It's not like rocking, but it's got like a power to it.
Yeah.
And yeah. So I absolutely kept "Take Me Away." Together as One.
There's one.
It's all right.
Fun song, but there's better songs.
Oh fuck, man! I picked It's All Right, so it's going on the side here. It's all right. Yeah, that's a fucking great song for me. Hold Me, Touch Me, Think of me when we're apart.
When we're apart. As much as I love it for its cheese ball factor, no, I didn't keep it.
I didn't keep it either. It's got its fun qualities to it, but yeah. Love in Chains.
Now, this is where my hair metal sensibilities took over and thought to myself, that is literally a hair metal song 6 years before it took off. Like,
yeah.
Damn, dude. Love in Chains. Like, that's basically the blueprint for Dawkins' entire career.
Yeah.
So I kept Love in Chains. So
I did not. So that goes over here on the other side. And then finally, Goodbye.
I did not keep. I
didn't keep it either. So we're going to say goodbye to that song. So the three definite tracks are Tonight You Belong to Me, Wouldn't You Like to Know Me, and Take Me Away. Together as One.
Together as One. Yes.
So right now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 tracks that are definitely going on this album, and then
nice.
So moving on to Mr.
Move on!
Thanks, Paul. Moving on to Peter Criss and his solo album, which to me sounds very much like Peter Criss. That's like, if you know anything about him and the music that he loved, it just sounds appropriate. Like it just sounds like his album. Well, we're not there. We're not there. We're not there yet. All right, track number 1. I'm gonna love you.
I like it, but I'm not keeping it.
I didn't keep it either. I'm assuming we both kept "You Matter to Me" because we love the fucking keyboards in that song.
Yeah, and it's. I feel like as well. Here's the thing. Here's my idea of Peter Criss. Peter Criss has a great soulful voice, and I think that shines the most on songs like that. So
Yeah.
that's the route I've kind of taken.
Honestly, yeah. The other one that I kept on here is for that very reason because I like the way his voice sounds on it.
Cool.
All right. Tossing and turning.
Nope.
Nope, I didn't keep it either. I'm tossing that one right out of the pile right there, and I'm not
Hey.
turning back.
Ha!
All right. Don't you let me down.
Hate to let him down, but he's not staying.
Yeah. Sorry,
Yeah.
Peter. We're letting you down on this one. That's
All
the
right.
kind of sugar Papa likes.
That's the kind of sugar Papa likes, but not right now.
That's the kind of sugar Papa is not putting on this album. Easy thing.
Easy thing to make my mind up on. I didn't keep it.
Oh no, it's going on. I love that's the one I'm talking about where his voice on that is just so good. It just sounds so good. So Easy Thing was my other choice from this album. So obviously I only chose 2 songs from this, so that's it. Rock Me Baby.
Afraid not.
All right. Kiss the Girl Goodbye.
Kiss the song goodbye.
Right. Hooked on Rock and Roll.
My third pick. That was gonna be my third pick.
It's a fun song.
Yeah. And his voice sounds so great on it. That's the thing. His voice is phenomenal. Like,
yeah, he's got like that Rod Stewart kind of quality to him.
Exactly. Yeah. But I Can't Stop the Rain.
Okay.
Because
I did not, but I'll put that over here. I Can't Stop the Rain.
And my reason for that is it's the one closing track on this list that really spoke to me like, wow, this could end the album. And
yeah,
it does his album. So it made sense to me. And I've always really liked I liked the power ballad vibe of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we've gone through all the tracks.
All right. So we're left with on the staying list, Rip It Out, Snowblind, Radioactive, Tonight You Belong to Me, Wouldn't You Like to Know Me, Take Me Away. Because all of Paul's songs are about me, about him. And then of course, You Matter to Me by Peter Criss. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 tracks are definitely going on this, which means we have 5 more. That's math, right? To choose.
Cool. So I'm gonna just real quick make a little thing here. Final track list, and
you can hear that I'm using actual paper, and they say people don't write anymore. And it's only because my typing is so awful. We would be here forever with me trying to make sense of typing something out, or using my thumbs or whatever. I get by on some things, but mostly it's like I would rather just do my chicken scratch writing and then go from there.
Cool. So do you know what? It's copy and paste time, people. Bada boom, bada bing.
This is when the show gets really exciting. He started copying and pasting.
So, some copying and pasting music, maestro. Go. Yeah,
I'll put something in right there. You're talking. It'll be on the video. Or did you want me to? You want me to
make it up
music?
on the fly?
Oh,
yeah, just with your mouth sounds. Christmas #1 right here, people.
Copy and paste. Copy and paste. Copy and paste. I don't even know where I started from.
That had no right going that hard. It was when you came in with the copy and paste. I thought, oh,
All
This is
right.
where I
Well,
chime in. Fight for life, breathe. Hang by the rope.
that's when there's gonna be somebody's gonna fucking comment and be like, "You guys stole my song." Like, I didn't know. This came
this
out
is
off the
where
top of my head.
this is where we get a copyright strike for that shit. We're like, this is a real thing.
Apparently, you didn't know the copy and paste song. Jeez.
Damn. Where have you been, dude?
Um. All right.
Cool. So we are united on. Oh, hold up. Sorry.
Hold up. Hey.
Eh. So far I've got Rip It Out, Snowblind, Tonight You Belong to Me, Wouldn't You Like to Know Me, Take Me a Gay Together, Take Me a Gay. Damn.
To each their own.
Radioactive and You Matter to Me. So that's 7 songs, 7 tracks so far.
Si, senor.
Aye. Right.
So now we
Okay.
gotta figure out what to do, because we don't have any leftovers from Peter Criss.
Hmm.
It seems like no, no, we do. Never mind. I didn't put a line there. So we should start off with Ace, because the other 3 albums, there's 2 each that we didn't agree on.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe we start with Ace, with figuring out, because right now Ace only has 2 songs on there, and I think we probably would agree that we should do 4 Ace songs on this album.
He needs more. Yeah.
So we're left with Speeding, Ozone, In Need of Love, and Wiped Out. So this works out perfectly, because 2 of those are your choices and 2 of them are mine. So really, we can be diplomatic about this, and we both choose the one that we like the most out of our 2, and
Cool.
then we add them to the mix.
I'm happy to forfeit Ozone for Speeding.
All right. So I'm gonna put Speeding over here and get rid of that over here. So now this is hard. That's what she said. I'm okay. I'm running through the song, and that's good. And then it goes to the little faster part, which I fucking love that. And you got Wiped Out. I was. God damn, that's really tough.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is I'm sorry. Like, I know that it's just me sitting here, and on the podcast, it's like that was just a blank space. But I'm leaving that in because it's appropriate for you to know that I'm having a really tough time right now. Choosing between In Need of Love and Wiped Out. Somebody out there is like, oh, fuck, it's easy. It's this song. But I really love both of these songs.
Mm.
You know what? I think, this hurts me.
Come on, do it.
All right. I think because of the sort of weird Ace factor to the song, I think I'm going to keep Wiped Out.
Cool.
Because I like that one does, because In Need of Love is cool and has a lot of cool parts, but I just like the fact that Wiped Out is kind of an odd song, which goes along with Ace's personality. He was kind of the odd guy out in the group, really. So yeah. All right. So now that's taken care of Ace Frehley.
Cool.
And so, hold on. All right, finished up that coffee. Now I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. So now we only had 1 track from Gene Simmons. And I'm assuming that we would probably just like to stay with 2 tracks from Gene Simmons.
Yeah. Yeah.
And honestly, let me take a look at what we have here. So your Gene Simmons one is True Confessions. Mine is Burning Up with Fever. Our Paul Stanley, yours is Love in Chains. Mine is It's All Right. And then for Peter Criss, it's Easy Thing and I Can't Stop the Rain. So
I'm happy to forfeit True Confessions if I Can't Stop the Rain goes on.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. I've actually really come around to Peter Criss.
Okay. So that means that we get rid of True Confessions, and then we put Burning Up with Fever,
Burning up fever.
and then we get rid of Easy Thing, and we keep I Can't Stop the Rain.
Can't stop to rain.
I can't do it, Captain. So that leaves us with probably a really difficult thing here, because now we're going to go head to head with Paul Stanley. So we've got three Paul Stanley tracks. We need one more. It's down to It's All Right or Love in Chains. Now, all right, I can say that the vibe of It's All Right is similar to Wouldn't You Like to Know Me, which is already on there. Love in Chains has kind of its different thing going on.
That's kind of what made me pick Love in Chains over It's All Right, because
Yeah.
I was having that sort of thing of there's already one like this, so. But again, like I say, I'm picturing a track order in my head that I have here.
I don't even want to. I'm like, my brain can't even get there yet.
Well, here's kind of like here was my original like personal track list I made from this.
Okay.
Because I thought I'd save it because it's a good reference point. I thought to myself, Rip It Out and Speeding Back to My Baby are a good 1-2 punch from Ace. Follow that up with Wouldn't You Like to Know Me, which is a great third song, keeps the vibe going. Then you get Take Me Away, together as one. Track 4 is Where a Ballad Goes. They live there. Then you get Radioactive, and then you get You Matter to Me. Flip the vinyl over, starts with Tonight You Belong to Me. Then you get Snowblind, Ozone, Love and Change, True Confessions, and then grand finale ballad, I Can't Stop the Rain.
Okay.
But that's kind of how I approached it initially. I wanted to kind of think to myself, what's a good running order as well?
I definitely do like that we've been doing this where we're taking this as it's going to be on vinyl. So it does make it easier to do a sequence when you know that there's a beginning and an end of two different sections, one side one and side two.
Yeah.
Which honestly, I love it. I love it that, there's not a lot of bands that really give a shit about doing that anymore.
My band, Sage, we do. That's what we've done.
Nice. Yeah, because I just think that's because even if you're only listening to it, on Spotify just all the way through, it's cool to have like a rise and then a fall and then a rise again. Like it just kind of that was like a Metallica lyric right there.
Rise and fall, yeah.
What
rise again
makes you makes you more strong.
Yeah,
that one. Whatever. That was a mess right there. Whatever that was.
Delete that.
All right. Torben or Tobin. What's his name? Tobin or Torben?
Torben. Yeah.
Torben. I mean,
if I was your advisor, what would I say? I would say delete that.
you sound kind of like a mixture between Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone when you did that. Nothing like Torben Ulrich.
If we don't play solos, we're dating it to this time. I shot for shot remake,
not of some kind of monster
with the cast of the Expendables.
Oh man! and it's gonna be Arnold Schwarzenegger. He fucking left the band. The bridge is out. That being said, I know it wouldn't be Cranked and Ranked at all if we didn't go on a Metallica tangent. But
yep.
I know nobody hears this. It's important at all. But I know there's all this leftover stuff from the Saint Anger period that they didn't finish. That weird ambient track being one of them. And I'm like, just throw us fans a bone and then put out a whole disc of just the stuff that didn't get released, because that would make me very happy. Because as much as that song, you hear part of it in the documentary, and you're kind of like, all right. I still am all like, I understand where they were coming from, because in the you can do the commentary on the DVD.
Yeah.
They talk about, they put that song together after coming back from seeing Sigur Rós live.
Right.
And their brains were just like, because I've seen Sigur Rós live one time too. It's not the kind of music I ever want to listen to, but I liked things about them, and I got tickets to see them. This was like in the early 2000s. And I remember going to the show and being like, this is very moving music, and it's like powerful music, especially in a live setting. And so I could understand being a musician that just had access to a fucking studio, and you went to go to the show, like, let's just fucking go to the studio, make some weird shit. And then they do.
Yeah.
And then you wake up the next day and, the buzz is worn off and you're a little hungover and you're like, what did we do? And I've done that plenty of times. We, back when I was in a band in the early 2000s where we would go out drinking and then go back to our practice space and just try to write shit and then record it. And then the next day I'd listen to it and go, oh, that's awful.
That's what I always loved with, like, Metallica had that 80s side thing where they did shows as a band called Spastic Children. And they were just like, I think the rule was you weren't allowed to practice beforehand. Like,
yeah. Anyway, let's get us back on this. So I think I'm pretty okay with getting rid of It's All Right and keeping Love in Chains.
Love in Chains. That was the Michael McDonald version. Keep your love in chains.
Yamo be in chains.
Yamo be there.
All right, so now we've got our 12 tracks.
Now we've got a 12 track. I'm gonna do backing vocals for all your.
That's literally what our show would be if we did this in the.
That's literally all the show would be.
Because in the 70s, like, he was the backup vocalist on like everything that came out.
Yeah.
So it's like he would even be in Cranked and Ranked, like in the background. He just pop his head in and be like,
his head in.
"Yeah, we did it."
Peanut butter platypus.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So the where I don't even know where to start. So let's talk about, let's take it one thing at a time, because I get stressed out thinking about this.
Cool.
This is how I used to be. When I was in the 90s, I would make mixtapes for people, and I would stress about the track list. What goes first? What goes second? Where do I put weird interludes? Where do I put weird clips from movies or stand-up comedians or whatever? And so I would literally just like, and so it got to the point where I put so much work into these things that was usually, 90 minutes of stuff, 45 minutes on each side of the cassette. And if I gave it to somebody and they didn't really listen to it, I would just be like, do you not realize the amount of work that goes into this? So, and not only that, I got to the point where I started making mixed CDs, because I went out and bought, in the early 2000s, they had like a console CD burner where it wasn't in a computer. So literally it was just like making a mixtape where you still had to hook it up to the stereo or record player or cassette player. But then the next level thing that I could do that I loved was I could adjust the input volume. So I could literally make a mix where every song was at the same volume. There was never a track that was like way louder than another track. And so that was
you were basically just a limiter, like just like doing that's clever.
Well, because I just, that was the one thing that I hated about my mixes, was that like I would have something and I'd go, oh, that's too quiet and this thing's too loud. But it eliminated that. So then it became me making 75-minute CDs with all those things, but it would just be, you could pause it, stop and start the burning of the CD, just like you would a cassette. And I'm so mad because like I did so many of those for like, good friends and girlfriends, that I'm just like, I really wish that I could just like get them all back. Like, it's like I put so much work into them, and I really would like to go back and like listen to what I did, because I know I was so proud. of some of them.
Wow.
Like there was one that I made for my best friend at the time, and for some reason I may have said this on an episode before because I feel like I did, but I sometimes if I would find some little thing that made me laugh, I would include it like 10 times throughout the thing. And one
Wow.
of them was a sound clip from Return of the Jedi when the Ewok is going dip, 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 dip. It's literally a couple songs would play, and then you'd hear that guy do that, and then it would go into the next song, and then at the very end, I believe that was like the last song ends, and there's like a minute of silence, and then you just hear dip, 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 and I fade it out. Just because I'm seriously put so much work into them. If I could ever get one of those again, I would just, I'd probably do a whole video of like picking it apart about how badass I was at being a mix maker. Anyway,
Hell yeah.
and now it's just like you just drag shit over, and I don't know.
Watch as this hobby is destroyed in seconds.
Oh.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, that's that. Anyway, first track is what I was trying to get at. Let's take things one thing at a time. So let's talk about the actual first tracks that we included on here, because we included three
of the four.
Yeah, Rip It Out, Radioactive, Tonight You Belong to Me. I think I'm with you. I like Rip It Out starting it off because that has it has a really good just like boom, we're off and running already. There's no bullshitting around. There's no like and shit like that. Which we're gonna if I wish that I could just edit that out when we make our like Spotify and Apple Music playlists, but unfortunately we can't. But when you listen to the mix, just imagine that part's gone. Because
we could put a timestamp in the description and say, hey, when you get to this song, just skip the first.
Skip minute. To like a minute 30 or something.
Yeah.
All right. So number one. Let me number this: 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Rip It Out starts off our mix. All right. So that one's gone. So I like what you did because Speeding Back to My Baby is kind of a no-brainer because it is a number 2 track. But I also like the idea of at the very beginning varying it up instead of doing 2 A songs in a row. And there's a part of me that really like thinks in order to just let everybody understand what our mix is going to be like, it goes from Rip It Out to You Matter to Me.
I'm also keen for that because that's such a mission statement,
Yeah, it's literally like, look, we're gonna have some balls out rockers, but we're gonna have a little bit of
So synth.
Are you gonna ever put out those things that you were playing me? Can I talk about this on the episode right now?
Yeah, we can talk about it. It's a fun little side project.
So Eddie sends, we message each other because, despite what you may think, we're actually friends. And he sends me like projects he's working on. And one of them was he created a G-Funk version. The first one it was it Orion or was it? It was the midsection for Master of Puppets.
Yeah.
So literally it was like a G-Funk kind of hip hop track. And instead of a guitar, it was that G-Funk sound going.
Yeah.
And I was just like, this needs to be out for the world to hear. It's just amazing.
My personal favorite is the For Whom the Bell Tolls one, because that one, like, even I don't usually like do the riff face at stuff I've written, but sometimes I was just sat there like, oh yeah, and you don't stop.
Yeah. I just think that that's such a cool idea of taking like metal songs and then turning them into these sort of like early 90s hip hop jams, instrumentals. And then it would be even cooler if some random person out there got them and then put vocals over them. That'd be kind of cool. Or you could
start doing that.
You could rap on them. The real question is like, what would you call it? Because I immediately start thinking about what could the title of this be? G-Funk Up Your Ass or something like that. I mean, I don't know.
G-Funk Up Your Ass, yeah. Oh man. Master of Whistle Synths. I don't know. I'll work on something.
That doesn't sound quite as cool.
Yeah,
Master of
yeah.
Whistle Sense.
Wait, and G Funk for all.
Oh,
Yeah,
I actually really like that.
yeah.
And G Funk
That's
for all. Yeah,
yeah,
I'm sorry. I'm hitting my pen. I'm like, yes,
yeah.
the gavel.
Yes, bang the gavel down.
Anyway,
And
yeah,
so by decree we hath decided, boom, and justice for G Funk.
that was great. I almost envisioned you having like one of those wigs on and
Yeah.
everything. All right. So track number 3. So we have Rip It Out and then You Matter to Me. So track number 3, obviously I think we would want to bring it back up before we get to the ballad.
Wouldn't You Like to Know Me, I think, would be a good one here, possibly.
I I I think, yeah, I think you're, well,
Are we shooting our wad too quickly with that one, though?
yeah, I think we might be.
Yeah.
Um,
But I suppose you'd want to somewhat front
but
load the album a little
I'm,
bit.
but I'm assuming the ballad is going to be a Paul one. So why don't we put a Gene one here? Why don't we put Burning Up with Fever?
Burning Up with Fever. That's a good shout. Yep. Burning Up with Fever.
And then we can do um Take Me Away to get together as one. Together as
Take
one.
me out to sea. Together as one. I wrote it as
Together as
together. Together.
I'm not going to edit this shit at all. This is all going to be in the episode of us trying to like write and type stuff.
It's a special episode. People are along for the ride. So
we've got
enjoy.
two more songs in the
Side.
the side here.
Mhm. We've got one from each member so far. So
Do we go since we've got like we have double the amount of tracks from Paul and Ace. Maybe we wrap it up with another Ace and Paul. So maybe we do Take Me Away and it goes into Snowblind.
yeah, Snowblind it would be good there. Snowblind.
And then
Just, you know when you type something and you think you're in the right position, but you end up typing complete fucking gibberish. I thought I was blind, but I hit every key next to it, and it just went...
your hands were not in the QWERTY position.
Nah, they were in the position.
So should we end the side with Wouldn't You Like to Know Me or Love in Chains?
Well, here's the thing. Which track are we opening side 2 with? I feel like it should probably be Tonight You Belong to Me. Because that's just such a good intro track, you know? It starts off all mysterious and acoustic.
You're right. So,
track 7, Tonight You Belong to Me.
Yeah.
So the question
I like
is,
that.
You have kind of a double whammy with Paul in the middle.
But that's all right because we'll have. Yeah. I mean, if you're listening to it in two halves, it's fine that it wraps it up with Paul and begins it with Paul. Cool. Because if we use another Gene or another Peter, then they're done for that. They're not on the second side of the album at all. And so I think equal representation, for even for our least favorites. So I think we would either end it with Wouldn't You Like to Know Me or Love in Chains.
I feel like Wouldn't You Like to Know Me is a good pickup ending for the side.
Okay.
So yeah. Wouldn't you like to get claimed?
And so that brings us to side B, which we've started with Tonight You Belong to Me, which I like that as a beginning too, just because it's a cool has a cool build to it.
For sure, yeah.
And then it
And
just seems appropriate that number two should be Speeding Back to My Baby.
yeah, I'm with you. Speeding back,
Ooh,
speeding
speeding back.
back.
Maybe I
I
should
just
turn
wrote,
around. Maybe.
I just wrote speeding back to my back.
What?
I don't know. I feel like he'd hurt himself doing that. Um,
Especially these days.
yeah.
They're old men. All right, so the four songs we have left: Radioactive, Wiped Out, I Can't Stop the Rain, and Love in Chains.
I feel like Can't Stop the Rain would end the album nicely.
Yeah, because I mean it ends his album too. So let's go ahead and put that at 12.
I can't stop the rain. Here it comes again.
So that leaves us Radioactive, Wiped Out, Love in Chains.
Cool.
So sometimes when I get stuck doing these things, I sometimes start working backwards. Like what would be the good final energetic song before I Can't Stop the Rain? And for me, it seems like it should be Wiped Out. Like Wiped Out should be the it's heavy, and then it goes into I Can't Stop the Rain.
In a way, it's kind of it will end the album how it began too, kind of bringing it full circle. So we started with Ace and followed him up with Peter, and now we'll finish the ending with Ace and wrap that up with Peter. So yeah, Wiped Out, track 11. Cool.
And so it's really just where do we put Radioactive and Love in Chains? Like what order do we do that?
I think Radioactive to break up Paul's section a little bit so that the middle isn't too Paul heavy. I reckon Radioactive track 9, Love in Chains 10.
Okay, I agree with that. I think that for what we're working with here, it's not 100% the tracks that I would have chosen, but I think for what we have, this is pretty good. So basically, side A, you got Rip It Out from Ace, You Matter to Me from Peta, Burning Up with Fever from Gene, Take Me Away, Together as One, from Paul, Snowblind from Ace, Wouldn't You Like to Know Me from Paul. That's pretty good. Flip it over, side B, Tonight You Belong to Me from Paul, Speeding Back to My Baby from Ace, Radioactive from Gene, Love in Chains from Paul, Wiped Out from Ace, and then wrapping it up with I Can't Stop the Rain by Peta Chris. Peta File.
Your name is Pedophile?
Do you remember that episode of the IT Crowd?
Yeah.
I'm Pedophile.
It's a pedophile. No, his name is Pedophile. His name is Pedophile. And I love that they start arguing over it. It doesn't. Yeah, yes, I suppose it does.
That's one of my favorites, just because that whole isn't that the one with the dinner party, or they bring Richmond with them and everything, and it's like everybody act natural. It's a weird moment. They all do a little pose.
It's been a long time since I've seen it, but that's just one of those standout scenes.
I highly recommend the IT Crowd. Although, like the only thing that's like I find myself having a hard time with now is going back and watching shows that have laugh tracks, because I've gotten so used to not having those, and I really like that now that's all I hear is I stop listening to what they're saying. I just listen to the and I'm just like, oh, stop it. It's like we're not that stupid. We know what's funny and what's not funny. But
I'll be honest, I grew up with shows that had laugh tracks. They never really bothered me. But it's like, yeah, it's one of those things. To me, it's almost like kind of a supplement. I'm paying attention anyway to the joke. I just prefer, like, at this point, if it's a show that I've never really watched before and I find out there's a laugh track, I go, oh no, there's no way. There's no way. Can't do it. I don't know. That's a thing that needs to be
I don't know. I've never. it needs to be removed from television in general, or even funnier. They should just do a full length movie with like a laugh track and cheers and stuff already in there. That would be pretty funny. I have a feeling somebody probably already did that.
Possibly. There's probably during like some sort of weird transitional era where like they just figured it out, and there's like comedy full movies like theatrically that have them. And it's
I don't
like
know.
it's like when they used to put like canned laughter in Scooby Doo, and it was like,
It's a fucking cartoon.
yeah, this is filmed before a live studio audience. The fuck, like, ten,
Yeah.
like 5-year-old me trying to wrap my head around that. I was like, whoa, they've even got crowd people that live inside the TV. Whoa.
um. All right. Well, took us way off topic for a second. That's okay. We haven't been doing this for very long. We actually went through this rather quickly for
Yeah,
what I think we did last time.
I think we, yeah, I think we kind of expected the going through the tracks to take a lot longer than it did, but we agreed on so many songs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that
really
was good fun.
we ended up with a pretty good representation. You know, just for shits and giggles, I'm gonna pull up the best of the solo albums and see what they put on it.
Yeah, that's a good shout. We can critique or criticize. I mean, they're both
All
valid
right,
words.
let's see. So in theirs they put it seems like it starts with New York Groove from Ace,
Mm-hmm.
then Living in Sin from Gene Simmons,
Wow.
then See You Tonight from Gene Simmons, then Rip It Out from Ace Frehley, the first one that we actually had on ours. Then Fractured Mirror from Ace Frehley, which we don't have. Then Don't You Let Me Down from Peter Criss, which we don't have. Radioactive by Gene Simmons, which we have. Tonight You Belong to Me by Paul, that's on there.
Wow. It took
Ta-
the 8 to hear a Paul song.
yeah, Take Me Away
Like,
Together is one, which we have on here too. Rock Me Baby from Peter Criss. I Can't Stand the Rain by Peter Criss, and then wrapping it up with Paul Stanley, Hold Me, Touch Me, Feel My Balls, or whatever it's called. So really only 5 of these tracks. And how long is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that's a 12 track album that they put together too.
yeah.
So that's interesting because I think that came out in 1979. So in 79, that's what they thought were the best songs from these, and only 5 of those are on ours. I can't understand only putting. I think if I just read there was only Rip It Out and New York Groove from Ace's album, and I'm like, what were they thinking? Didn't they? I mean, didn't when the albums come out, everyone immediately knew that Aces was the superior album?
Yes, labels and yes, business
And of course, you
suits.
know
Yeah.
that Paul and Gene are in charge, as
Yeah.
they always have been, which is fine. So but I think that ours is much better, and we didn't just put the artists like next to each other because I think that just you're doing this collection to have it be a variety, and if you
Yeah.
just put the artists right next 2 songs in a row, well, I guess we technically did 2 Pauls, but that's only if you have the CD version or the streaming version that we will be putting up. That's another thing that we do for those of you who've lasted this long, Peanut Butter Platypus, but
Yes.
also the other 2 Slashed and Mashed we've done. You can go and find those either on Spotify or on Apple Music. I think you can go to the actual videos, and then there's a link to the playlists, a Spotify version and an Apple Music version. And so that's always fun to go. You can revisit our versions of these albums, but we will by the time this episode is out, you should be able on YouTube to scroll down to the description and click on the link for our version, so you can just listen to it if you want. Oh shit, I don't know. I don't know if this will. I don't know if this. Maybe this will turn people on to like these albums, or maybe hopefully get them to give Peter Criss a little bit more love because I don't know. Guys,
For sure.
he's a good singer, and that's the thing. That's the thing that to me is really great about this particular era of Kiss, because you had these 4 very different voices.
Yeah.
I guess it
Yeah.
was the same thing with the Beatles. Once they got to the point I guess once George was being incorporated more, and you had a George and Ringo song or whatever, I like the idea of having these four unique voices. More bands should do that. More bands should have at least two different singers, because I just feel like that just adds such a nice variety to the songs. But variety is not a thing that most people want these days, apparently. I don't know if you've noticed, but shit. Cool. So that I guess we can just wrap it up now. It's been kind of a short one, but it is grooved and slashed and mashed. We have another show called Grooved and Removed, which we will be doing another one of those fairly soon. Go ahead.
We will.
But yeah, so that's the end for
And that's all, folks.
I think that's when we figure out that we really probably should wrap it up, when I'm just having trouble actually wrapping my head on what I even want to say. But we have to celebrate, because we did whittle this down into one album. So we have to celebrate by saying 3, 2, 1, yay!
Yeah!
We did it! Yeah. You did have a very, at the end, the Hetfield thing, you went, yeah!
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, no! The whipping boy.
Some people are going to be like, every fucking time, you guys. Well, one day everyone's going to come around to the fact it's going to come. Everyone's going to come around to the fact that song fucking rules.
Yeah, I feel like if that song experiences like an uptick in like click traffic, I think we had something to do with that.
I think so
too. At least a bit part in the resurgence of it, maybe.
I did like a TikTok video where I'm just sort of singing along to it, hoping that maybe they'll catch on TikTok. But I realized the thing that I did wrong is I didn't speed it up a whole bunch, because it seems like that's the fad. It's like, oh, here's a song, but it's like faster. Why? I don't know. No reason to have songs sped up except to be fucking annoying. I'm obviously not the target audience for TikTok for the most part. So, but I'm there. Because if you're trying to promote yourself these days, you got to be everywhere, because every viewer, listener, follower counts.
Watching her.
Watching her. I appreciate all of you. We appreciate all of you. That's a good way to end this up. So, yes, description, YouTube video. If you're listening to this as a podcast, just go over to my YouTube channel. And find the video for this. In the description, you'll see a link to the Spotify and Apple Music versions of our slashed and mashed Kiss solo albums. But other than that, we will be back next week with another band discography. It'll be an actual cranked and ranked. Mm-hmm. And it'll be a fun one. So until then, as usual, I'm just going to go ahead and throw it over to my better half, Mr. Eddie Sparxx, to take us out.